Have you ever wanted to read a letter that was meant for someone else? Have you ever wanted to travel the world but didn't have the time or the money? If so, you are in the right place. Welcome to In My Voice, the podcast where we read letters and share travel stories about places by our guests. I am your host, Bonaheri, and each week I'll guide you through these two different yet fascinating worlds. In the first segment, we'll read letters written to listeners like you about a variety of subjects, from heartwarming stories to heartbreaking experiences. These letters offer a unique perspective on the human experience. Some of them will make you laugh, while the others will bring a tear to your eye. But they all have one thing in common. They are written from the heart. In the second segment, we will embark on a journey to explore the world through travel stories. We'll visit exotic destinations, meet interesting people, and experience the joys and challenges of traveling. Whether you are a seasoned traveler or someone who's always dreamed of seeing the world, you will find something to inspire you in these stories. So, join me every week as we dive into these two fascinating worlds. In My Voice. I promise you won't be disappointed. Subscribe now and don't miss an episode. Welcome back to another episode of the In My Voice podcast. This is Okutambula Kulaba, a section of the In My Voice podcast where we talk about people's travel stories. I know it's been a while and you're wondering what has been happening. We are taking a break a little bit to do some things, and I'm excited to be back with you. My name is Bonaheri, your host, and as usual, always very excited. Today we're going to be talking about travel, but in a different way. I have a guest who is very enthusiastic about traveling, nature traveling to be specific, and he has been in many places. He's going to share his travel experiences. And trust me, this is something that we want to be part of. Ismail is my friend. A few years ago, we were together in Rotaract. He is an interesting person. It's been a while, but I've been following his footsteps on social media, and it's been exciting. So one day I see him posting snakes, and I was wondering what he had to do with the snakes. I didn't know that he had taken on that kind of lifestyle. Yes, Ismail, welcome to the In My Voice podcast.
Thank you, Bonaheri.
Yeah. How have you been, man?
I've been so fine. Yeah. It's been years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I should call it probably 9 years or something of a sort. Or 8 years.
Right.
Been long.
Yeah, it's been quite long. What have you been up to, man?
A lot of things.
Yeah.
But basically, I would start by, I've been to farming at some point.
Yeah.
I managed a coffee farm. Then I left the coffee farm. I had to join photography, learned about the art.
Yeah.
I had to specifically get into events, nature photography, or we call it wildlife photography as well.
Yeah.
Then, of course, portraits and all, and products. I also got back a little bit into farming again, a little bit. Then I also got into working with an organization that was in West Nile. I was volunteering, doing a lot of things with young people, using storytelling to improve literacy performances, especially in Yumbe district. No, Yumbe district is one of the districts in Uganda with poor performances.
Yeah.
Yes. So we thought by using storytelling, we'd encourage them to learn more about it.
Yeah.
Then after those years, of course, I go back again. I got invited to join the shea nut value chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying to push, the shea nuts in Uganda. Okay, shea nut generally grows basically in Uganda and south of Southern Sudan. The Nilotica shea nut, or you call it the Vitellaria paradoxa species.
In English, please.
Okay, the Nilotica shea nut only grows in northern Uganda and south of Southern Sudan.
Yeah.
Then we also have the shea nut that grows in West Africa, in the countries of Ghana, West Africa, Mali, Benin, Togo, just to mention.
Yeah.
But there's a difference in terms of the qualities, of course. Ours here is rich in higher oleic content.
Yeah.
Then theirs is lesser. That means if you smear the butter on your skin, ours easily melts into your skin compared to theirs. Theirs is more waxier.
Yeah.
Takes time to easily absorb into your skin. So that means the effect of our shea butter is more pronounced than theirs, though they all have the same vitamins composition, A, B, A, E, and K. Yeah. So a little bit about that, of course, and traveling.
Yeah.
I've had my opportunities to travel,
yeah.
to learn.
Now, that
And you-
travel bit there is what we are more interested in,
Yes.
because I have people here who come here to learn about traveling and also get to know about the things that people learn when they travel.
Yeah.
Not all of us get a chance to travel.
Yeah.
And we can't be in all the places.
Yes.
We're here.
Yeah.
But we can learn a thing or two about the cultures, the food,
Yeah. Yeah, true.
the environment and all that.
That's true.
So that is what we are going to be discussing.
Yeah.
But before we dive into that,
Yeah.
we're going to do a quick fire session.
Okay.
Yeah? I'm just going to ask you a few questions and give me the answers straight away.
All right.
All right. So, are you ready for the quick fire?
Yeah. I'm
You
very
ready?
ready, yes.
Good. Okay. What's scarier? Is it being face to face with a snake or losing your luggage?
Maybe losing a luggage. Not snakes, at least.
First snakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Name the first thing you do when you arrive at a new destination.
Usually what I do is that I first get to know of the immediate places of accommodation. Very important. Then where to eat from. Then the nightclubs. Where to go and have fun. Yes, where to go and have fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Then
Okay.
of course, when it comes to where to eat from, I always want to know their indigenous foods. That food that they identify with.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's the best meal you've had at a travel destination?
Literally, I would say maybe chicken biryani or something.
Chicken biryani.
Yes.
Where was that?
That was at Watamu.
Watamu.
Yes.
Okay. What's the best hospitable place you've been to?
Hospitable place, I would say Kainela Farms.
Kinila.
Kainela Farms.
Where is that?
In Kayunga.
Kayunga.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Would you rather hike a mountain or dive into the ocean?
Hiking a mountain. Yes. I'm hydrophobic a little bit.
Okay. If
Yeah.
you could live with an animal for a month,
Yeah.
other than snakes,
Okay.
what would that be?
Domestic animal, wild.
Wild?
Wild animal. Maybe a pan troglodyte.
Pan?
Troglodyte.
What
That's a
is that?
chimpanzee.
Come on, please make it simple for us.
Okay.
Because some of us wouldn't understand some of those terms.
Okay,
But that is
yeah.
interesting. Okay, are you an early bird or
Yes, an early bird. Yeah.
you didn't wait for the option?
Well, I was an early bird.
We'll do early bird.
Okay.
What's the most important thing in your travel gadgets?
A camera. Actually, before a camera, a phone.
A phone?
Yes, phone is very important for communication.
Yeah.
A camera for documenting the experiences that are around.
Yeah.
Then a book to read on the journey. Some journeys are so long.
Yeah.
Then good gear, probably a boot to wear because you don't know where you're heading to, and the jackets. Anyway, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I think that will be all for our quick fire session. Let's get into your travel stories. Where do you start this love for traveling, and when was that?
To be honest with you, is that I come from a generation or a family of travelers.
Yeah.
I think from my great-grandfather, my grandfather, because I grew up with my maternal family, so I know my grandfather, who originally left Sudan, traveled through Somalia, came to Kenya, then finally came and settled in Uganda, passed on in Uganda. However, my late mother also was a traveler.
Yeah.
She'd been to places around the whole of East Africa before she transitioned. She spent much of her life, half of her life in the DRC,
Yeah.
Congo, because she used to buy chitenge, wax,
Yeah.
then comes and sells in Uganda, then takes them, then goes back again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So because of that, of course, then the urge to know more
Yeah.
and to learn as well was also a trigger factor for my interest in traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people say if you don't travel, you don't learn.
Yeah.
don't
You can't learn. Yeah.
So for you to have a better perspective of how the world is moving,
Yeah.
it's better for you to travel.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's mostly self-driven.
Wow.
Other travels are due to work.
What was your first journey like? Like, where did you go to? How was it like?
My first journey, let's say out of the country, was basically to Mombasa. First time.
Yeah.
That was more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, reason being is that I have an uncle who stays there. So my idea was to go and check on them and see them.
Yeah.
I didn't know the direction then. I just got instructions that if you reach Nairobi, if you reach a bus, don't leave the bus, follow the bus. get on the bus up to Mombasa. When I reach Mombasa, get a tuk-tuk, follow share with them the direction that you're going to Inuka police station in Likoni. And then I found myself home. And everyone was shocked. Like, how comes?
How old were you then?
Yeah?
How old were you?
I think I was in my maybe 19s or 20s, early 20s. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just left Uganda and were like,
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to Mombasa.
Yeah.
How was that experience? How was Mombasa then?
No, the trick is that when I was traveling, there were a lot of instructions. Like, don't eat anything from strangers, don't do what. But surprisingly, the strangers that I met in the bus were very hospitable. Yeah. Even till the time I went to Mombasa. Mombasa, when I was there, I also had the opportunity again to meet my cousin sister who lives in the Emirates, who invited me to go to the United Arab Emirates a month later. And that was another breakthrough. I was like, good things could happen anywhere. Mm-hmm. You get it? So I went to Mombasa, I went to Kenya, I was with my uncle, had spent a month with them. Yeah. And got the invitation to go to Dubai for 3 months. That was nothing that I expected.
So you actually followed through and went to Dubai?
Yes, I went to Dubai because everything was sponsored. My ticket, visa was all sponsored. So I just came back to Uganda, spent a month, flew to Dubai. So I was in Dubai for 3 months on a vacation.
How was Dubai?
Dubai is hot, man. It's a luxury. It's a luxury city. Yeah, that's one thing I could tell someone. It's a luxury city and it's hot. And of course, the experiences there being a luxury city, there were lots of restrictions here and there. And one of the things that really hit me hard was that sandstorm. Yeah. Towards September, there was a big sandstorm that covered almost all the towns. Yeah. From Dubai, you go to Sharjah, Fujairah, Ajman, up to Abu Dhabi, was all covered in sandstorm. Yeah. So a lot of people got cough and flu. So imagine if it was COVID time, they'll say, you came back with COVID, yet it was actually the dust from the sandstorm. Yeah. Then the sun hit, because it's so humid that you feel the heat like you're in a sauna when you just move out of the house. And the worst experience I had is most neighbors don't know each other. Yeah. Which is so people are so anti-social. Yeah. You would stay in the same block, same apartment with someone, but you don't communicate. You don't know who your neighbor is. You only meet when you're going probably to the mosque to pray, or maybe in the supermarket to buy a thing or two. Yeah. But mostly the people that were a little bit hospitable are people from African descent. Yeah. They'll try to know each other. Where are you from? Because when I was still in Rotaract, actually, I contacted Rotaract Club in Dubai, the Rotaract Club of Dubai. So that president drove and picked me from home and took me for a fellowship
meeting. Yeah.
Yes, I went and attended that fellowship, and they were initiating new Rotaractors. It was fun. It was an experience that even my sister was shocked. Like, you're just new here. How can a stranger pick you up from home and take you there? It was an experience. So I'm still in touch with the past president. Yeah. He's from Egypt. So he's a gentleman from Egypt. He has been working in Dubai for so many years, and some few of his contacts from Lebanon that are still in touch up to date.
Your experience in Dubai vis-a-vis your experience in Mombasa, because those travels within the same period of time. Yeah. How was it different, Mombasa, Kenya, to Dubai?
Going to Dubai was my first time boarding a plane. Because Mombasa I used the bus, Mombasa. But going to Dubai was the first time on a plane. Yeah. The first time I went to the airport, I was bounced. Yes, I was bounced. By the immigration officers because I didn't have an invitation letter to go, and then the host, documents from the host, so I had to get back to them again, and they sent me. So fortunately, the brother-in-law, the husband to the cousin sister, was working at Etihad Airlines. Then Etihad was still flying in Uganda. So he had to rebook me for the next flight the following day. So that's when I came back. My auntie laughed at me, was like, you see, you're not going anywhere.
You thought you just get your luggage and like, okay, I'm going.
So I already packed gifts, things that I was taking for them, like matokes and some passion fruits. Some matokes were starting to ripen. So I went the following day again. Now, this following day, the immigration officer was still called. It was like, the person who's hosting this guy is a Kenyan. Yeah. And then they got directive that, no, let him go. Because he was there yesterday. You told him he brought the things, the documents that you wanted. So let him go. So that's when I went. When I checked in already, I just ran. I almost boarded Rwanda Airlines.
Why was that?
Because I was in shock. Yeah. I was in shock. I was also excited at the same time. It's like, and I was also in that fear that I miss my flight. So I had to be so very alert. So I was like, no, then ask me, where's your ticket? I was like, yeah, 800 airlines. So I sit and wait. So I sat and waited. And, the board came, the plane, I boarded a plane. And when I reached Dubai, we reached, Etihad was then landing in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So I went to Abu Dhabi. It was so humid. When I reached there to check in, again from the immigration, the scanner failed to scan me for some like 15 minutes. People were like, what's going on? Everyone's looking at me. I was like, hey, please God help me, let me just get in. So finally, of course, I was checked in, I was scanned, and I entered. I crossed into the country.
Yeah.
The bus was waiting for us. We were going to Dubai, so they had to pick us from Abu Dhabi from the airport, brought us to Dubai. Then the family was waiting for me. They were excited.
Yeah.
Finally, I mean, I was like, yeah, first time.
And for you, were like, oh my God.
Yeah, I made it. But then the heat was intense because after crossing it was so hot.
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah, finally I got in. I was with family, but we had the opportunity to move around the greater part of the cities and the towns of the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
From the different borders, from Oman border to Saudi Arabia border, Qatar border. So I had to see the greater part of the country in the 3 months I was there. Then I also saw how other races were treated there in terms of employment, and so those were the part of the experiences that really demotivated me from staying there. How they're treating the Philippines was different from how they're treating Africans.
Yeah.
You get it?
How so?
Because when you see a maid, you find it's a Muslim family having a housemaid. You dress up in uniform. You dress up on an event that the Muslims celebrate, like Eid. Find taking a housemaid is being shouted on, and you're in a uniform. You're a black person. They were treating like a low-class citizen, and that wasn't a good impression.
Yeah.
Considering that the relationship that Africa had with that country in the past, especially Uganda, for example, Uganda had a good relationship with the United Arab Emirates during Idi Amin's time. So it wasn't a good impression. Yeah. But nevertheless, I had fun. I went to one of the water parks in Dubai called, I think, it was around Ras Al Khaimah. I went there and some guy saw me and touched my skin. I was like, I love your skin. I was like, is this real? Yeah.
Was it the first time this person was seeing a black person?
Yeah, I think so. Then we had the opportunity to go to the Mall of the Emirati. I saw the tallest building, Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
I saw Burj Khalifa. Then I saw the other hotel. What's it called? Baraj Al Arab.
Yeah.
That's built on the ocean in the sea.
Yeah.
So I also went there. We swam around there and ate some nice fish and gravy soup with that man. It was amazing. For the food and culture, good. And then
food in Mombasa.
Yeah.
Food in Saudi Arabia.
In
Dubai.
Now, because the same family, so they prepare the same thing. You get it? So unless when you move out, the first time I had mojito. When I went outside, I didn't know about it, but I was like, let me try mojito. So it's nice. They're like, yo, this is good.
Yeah.
You get it? Yeah. So these are the different experiences because you're outside home, same family, they cook the same food. Almost we had the same meal almost every day. From the biryanis, chicken biryani, to shack meat. I also ate. I was like, oh, no, tasted salty. I was like, it's interesting. Yeah. Then the experiences around the malls and meeting the people, shopping. Yeah, of course, when I went there, I would shop a lot of things when I came back. I was so overwhelmed with what I got. Yeah.
I know being out of the country for the first time and you're seeing these new places, new people, new culture, exposed to a new culture and a lot of things that do not exist in your country.
That's true.
What are some of the things that you saw in Dubai that you're like, I wish the things were in Uganda?
Yeah, one of the things I saw comes to leadership.
Yeah.
The leadership, I saw the president driving alone on the road without any escort.
Yeah.
And to me that was a shocker because you won't see our president driving alone without all the 50 trucks following him.
Yeah.
You get it? That's one, leadership. Then number two is that they're so intention. They have a projection of where they want their country to be.
Yeah.
From the 1970s, where Uganda was almost at the same level, Uganda was actually giving food aid to them. Yeah. To today, it's a different world of its own. Different world. So the intentionality, corruption is, you don't hear about corruption there.
Yeah.
Everything is just so perfectly well. And then when it comes to prices of items, find it's the same price. If you go to a mall A and mall B, you'll find it's the same price.
There is no price discrimination.
There is no price discrimination. Which in Uganda, you're buying You're buying sugar probably a kilo at 3.6. You go somewhere, it's 5,000 shillings a kilo.
Yeah.
Then you ask yourself, what's going on? Get it? And yet all these businesses pay taxes.
Yeah.
But then the other bigger thing is that there's so much luxury. So a lot of people who go there, if you're not so disciplined monetarily, you end up wasting all your money. You need to come back bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because the moment I landed there, for example, I got notifications from different banks. I got notifications from different car bonds. I got notifications from different institutions.
Yeah.
And now for the car bonds, they lease you cars. So if you get your job, you start working, you can easily get a car, the car of your dream. You want to drive a Lamborghini. We saw them in the street. I saw Rolls Royces in the street. I was like, damn, I only see these things in movies. But I saw them in reality. I did touch some of them. I was like, let me just keep my malo to myself. You get it? Yes. Then the organization around the bus transport systems, for buses you bought with a card.
Yeah.
So I have a relative who has a bus company. When I thought of these ideas, I saw it there. I told him, why don't you use a card system or the ticketing system that is equivalent to the ones they do in Kenya? Yeah. I realized that even though they have the transport, the buses, but they're not as visionary enough to look through things the way probably I saw it.
Yeah.
Get it? So I had to just pull back. Yeah, but compared to Uganda, I think if it's not because of the heat that side, I would maybe stay there.
You would stay there.
Yeah, but the heat and the treatments of black people wasn't nice at all.
Is there anything that you learned from Dubai and when you came to Uganda, you tried to implement?
Yeah, the first thing I told you is that when I saw the card system for the buses,
system,
I tried sharing with the relative who had the buses so that they can try using that, introducing that, even the ticketing system, which also failed. Then it also gave me a projection of how I want to move on with my life. Because when you move to places, I'm so fascinated by nature, I'm so fascinated by architecture. I take a lot of time to read around architecture, see how people build in their houses, using nature as an inspiration to build something. You get it? So those are personally some of these, probably in the near future I'll use them. But the ones that I've tried, I've failed. Yeah, I just decided to let them pass.
Wow, that's quite interesting. What's your most memorable experience in Dubai?
When I was in the United Arab Emirates, we went to the Twin Tower where they shot Fast and Furious from. I think Fast and Furious 7 or 5 or 6 between there. That was the most. I was like, damn. So this is the place they showed me that tower. This is where these guys drove their cars that you saw, the stunt that was made. Like, wow, this is good. Then of course I went to the mall of the Emiratis in Dubai. I saw they have an aquarium inside the mall. They have penguins inside the mall. Like, damn, this is serious. Then of course seeing the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa, and then Burj Al Arab was also a nice one. Then we also went to a gold souk where they sell gold in Abu Dhabi. Then so also the Masjid the main mosque in Abu Dhabi. Well, I think it's Al Maktoum Mosque or something like that. Well, that's nice. Then the floating bridge. They have a floating bridge as well. So it was nice. All those are remarkable experiences that I got there.
All right. Watamu is known for its beautiful coastline. Yeah. For people who have been to the coast and have been to Watamu, like it's known for its beauty. Yeah. But you didn't go there to just, travel and see how it was. You went there for a very unique purpose.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, what can you tell us about your experience in Watamu and what led you to that journey to go and study about snakes?
Okay. Well, first to start with, close to 7 years ago, I used to manage a farm. On behalf of an African American friend.
Yeah.
So because it's one of the friends that I met in my journeys when I was traveling back then at campus to Bulu, then I met just a stranger in bus. Then looking at him and how he was speaking, totally different. Then I asked him, are you from the US? He said, yeah, I'm from America. Where? I said, Chicago. He's like, okay. Then I asked him what brings him to Uganda. He tells me, I'm looking for business opportunities where to invest in Uganda and probably Kenya. I'm looking at these two countries. I was like, okay. Then I assured him, if you ever think of establishing a business in Uganda, I'll be there, support you. That was the times I was still at campus. I didn't even finish. I was probably in my first year. Get it? So time passes. Then he calls me around 2017 to go and work with him. Then he told me, you made a promise that if I needed you, you'll be there to help me. And I was like, yes, and I'm ready. So I went to him. He had a farm around Luero, that side of close to Semoto side.
Yeah.
So when he called me up, I went. The farm had lots of snakes.
Yeah.
And our main crop, of course, of emphasis was coffee. We planted, I managed to plant around 16 acres of coffee, intercrop with matoke. But then the most intriguing part was the snakes around the farm. Because I used not to see snakes. But then the employees started seeing snakes.
Yeah.
And then one day I was with the boss, then having a conversation normally around work and how we should push things. Then one of the employees runs downhill and asks me, manager, come on, see, kuna nyoka. And timber. It's like, timber? Timber in my mind is a python.
Yeah.
So I rush uphill to see what it was, because they were digging around some rocks. So as I embarked and removed the rock, I found a snake that I didn't know the identity to start with. So out of excitement, I touched the snake. I take its beak. Okay, when I touched the snake hissed at me. So I had to pull back my hand.
Yeah.
I left it alone. It's like telling me, leave me alone. Then I left the snake. Then I took its beak. The snake immediately started crawling. Then when I took the pic and I shared on Facebook, a number of people told me, man, you've touched the second most deadliest snake in Africa after the black mamba. And which snake was it? The Gabon viper. It's a slow crawling snake.
Yeah.
Short, close to a meter, grows close to a meter long. And it has the longest fangs amongst all the snakes.
Yeah.
Its fangs is close to maybe, could say 5 centimeters long. And I was like, damn. So am I this lucky? So eventually when I shared it, I got a lot of reference, I got a lot of people engaging with me. Now, among the people that engaged with me was one gentleman called Stephen Spoles. Stephen Spoles he's one of the authors of the field guidebook, the East African Snakes and Reptiles book. Yeah. Then there are also other guys who started. Now they added me to that group, to the East African Snakes and Reptiles group. Yeah. So where they started sharing a lot of experience around it. So over the years, I've been learning for the 7 years about the different snakes, because I could encounter different snakes. I captured their photos. Now I started it. From the first time I caught that snake, I started, the land opened up to me. I started seeing snakes. The other mystery is that one time the employees ran after a forest cobra. It's the longest.
Ran away from?
Ran after the forest cobra. Now when they ran after the forest cobra, the cobra lifted its hood. Cobras, the forest cobras do not spit. Yeah. Lifted its hood up. So when it lifted its hood up, I told them, what, guys, back off. Leave the snake alone. Leave the snake alone. Let it move its way. So the snake, on realizing that people are backing off, calmed down and he crawled next to me and went. And everyone was like, is this guy a wizard or something? Because why did the snake crawl next to him? Yeah. Again, less than a feet apart. Just crawl next to him and left. So that was an experience of its own. So over the time I kept learning, and then of course the opportunities of training on snake handling and rescue here and there. And eventually last year that organized a conference of herpetologists that took place actually around Watamu as well. I missed the opportunity. Then Florent Finke, who is also one of the specialists in snakes, contacted me and told me there is a snake training. And I was eager to meet with him personally at a personal level, because hadn't met with him, would engage, we exchange contacts, speak. So Florent Finke told me there's an opportunity for you to come and learn about snake handling and rescue in Watamu. I was like, how much would it cost? So he told me the price was around 25,000 Kenyan shillings. Yeah. I think close to around 700,000 to just train. So I was like, let me organize. So I'd run some errands by that time, and I was anticipating payment, which didn't come. Yeah. And now I was like, I'd made a promise that I'll be in Watamu. So what's happening? I'd already even talked to the guy who's going to host me the accommodation in Watamu, and already agreed on the price. And then eventually, finally, a friend from Australia sends me the money. And my girlfriend gives me a transport to travel on road. Then I was like, damn, so luck is on my side. So I had to board a bus, headed to Kenya. When I reached Nairobi, in the bus, of course, I met some people who were interacting. Then they helped me. When I reached, I had to go to the terminal and boarded a train. First time, of course, boarded a train from Mombasa, from Nairobi.
SGR.
Yeah, I first boarded a connecting train to the SGR. Then I boarded the SGR because my ticket was booked from Uganda for there. So when I went there, Of course, because I didn't have a Kenyan line, there was also slight delays because they had to verify the information. Because you can book SGR from here and you just board when you reach there.
Yeah.
So, because they verified and I was granted permission, I boarded. So when I boarded, I reached Mombasa, jumped on a bus up to Watamu. Reached Watamu the following day. We went and had interactions with the different persons who had come. Fortunately, I was the only one from Uganda. A number of guys came as far as Germany to attend, some from South Africa to also attend, then some other residents of Watamu, the Kenyans who stay around, a few of them, then other people in the tours and travel business that were there. So when I went to Watamu, that's when I met Florian. They took us to a detour around the facility, introducing us on the basics of the different snakes and reptiles that they have, and then took us through a whole class session of how to identify the different snakes, venomous from non-venomous, history of snake bites, how to avoid confrontation with a snake, But there's always a say that if you don't know a snake, treat every snake as a dangerous snake because you don't know the identity. But if you know identity, it's easier. But if you don't know, treat it as a very venomous snake as well. So it could be deadly to you. So of course, when I was in Watamu for the 2 days, the training was for 2 days. When I was in Watamu for the 2 days, the first day was just basic introduction. Then from the basic introduction, we went and saw the snakes and all that. Then the second day was basically for practical, going into and handling a snake. So me, first of all, when I entered, it was my turn to go and handle. I started with a puff adder first. First freaked out.
Adder, that's a snake type.
It's almost in the viper family.
How big?
It's long. It's almost of the same size with a Gabon viper, like almost a meter long, but it's thick. It was a grown one.
Yeah.
And it's very fast. It has a very good eyesight.
Yeah.
So it can even strike you. It's a master. It's what they call master camouflage.
Yeah.
You get it. So when I got into my space and started handling it, I was just a little bit nervous, because I had a shot.
You must be nervous because
I had a shot and
you've
all
been seeing
that.
one snake and then you're seeing very many at the same time.
So I entered there. Fortunately, I performed well. I loaded my snake, put it in the bucket, sealed it off, opened the bucket, released. Then I also had a pipe where I directed to enter. Then I closed. Then they brought us a spitting cobra, a red spitting cobra as well. Did the same thing, located it well. And we also had the opportunity to see venom extraction, the milk venom from a snake and all that. And I also moved around the lab and saw a number of the snakes that they have there, from the black mamba, the Egyptian cobra. Yeah. So they brought a number of snakes that they were demonstrating. Now for us, our demonstration was among those two snakes, basically the puffad and the red spitting cobra. But then they also brought the Egyptian cobra, which is so common in Uganda as well. Now, of course, what drove me to go there is because of passion. Yeah. You get it? Or phobia, or the fear for snakes. Yeah. Is so common around people. Yeah. Now, reason being because of religion. Religion is the first tool that has brainwashed people to fear snakes because of what they say in the book of Genesis, in Christianity, where they say snake was cursed. If you meet a snake, you have to hit it on the head until it dies. Yeah. So religion has played a very big part into that. But may I believe that every animal has a role in the ecosystem. You get it? Because every animal has a role to play in the ecosystem, and the creator is more wiser than we. Because if he thought these animals were dangerous to his creation, he wouldn't have created them. That's logically me thinking. Yeah. You get it? But people don't see it in that perspective. Because, me looking at snake like this,
dangerous. It is dangerous.
No.
And people have experienced it.
You get it?
People, yeah.
So now, if you come to the numbers, especially Uganda has around 112 species of snake. Yeah. Now, out of it, 80% are non-venomous, and 20% are venomous. 80% are non-venomous. 20% are venomous. Now, in the venomous snakes, you'll have the Egyptian cobra, you'll have the black mamba, you'll have the Jameson's mamba, you'll have the puff adder, the Gabon vipers.
How does a person like me who has not been exposed to many snakes, how would I tell this is venomous and this is not?
Now, the idea is that usually if you're able to have the confidence, the courage to take a picture of the snake, would be very easy for identification purposes. Because even when a snake bites somebody, they will always ask you, what was the color of the snake, so they can give you the right antivenom.
I'm like, okay, first of all, I am scared. Where do I even get the courage to take a picture?
Now, that's where the challenge is. Because if you have the courage to take a picture, it becomes easier to identify. Then two, I always advise people, at least you have a guidebook. If like you have a land and it's so vested with a lot of rodents, you'll always have snakes. You're improperly disposing of waste, you'll also have snakes around. If you have high vegetation growth around your place, you'll definitely have snakes around. Again, so the ideal thing to do if you have into such kind of a wild spaces or wild establishments, you should have a book that talks about the animals you have around. As me, I have guidebooks on snakes, I have guidebooks on birds for now. So I'm also looking for guidebooks. I'm looking for getting a guidebooks on small mammals of Africa, basically. Yeah. So identity plays key.
As someone who knows about snakes, looking at this country, Uganda, which is the most common in Uganda, and in which parts you think are
now
they're in plenty?
Me, I come from Gulu, but I have my home in Amoro currently. Now, Amoro, for me, what I've seen mostly there is the Egyptian cobra. It's so common. But other snakes, like the brown house snakes, are common. You can easily find them in houses. So as long as you have in your stores, probably where you keep your grains and all that, because they'll be coming to hunt for rats and geckos, lizards. You get it? So those are also two. Then the forest cobras are easier to sight as well. And then the green mambas, sometimes. Get it?
Okay, I love camping. In forests, for instance, if I am a traveler who loves camping and I go camping, what you're trying to say is the first thing I should have is, at least I should know, I should have a guide for snakes. Yeah. Because some of those you'll never know when they will.
For as long as you're into adventure, you love traveling, have guidebooks that covers both snakes, birds, and small mammals.
If I saw a snake, what should my first reaction be?
Well, for me, what I will tell you is to avoid it as much as possible, because you don't know about it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how deadly it could be. So keep a distance away from it. As long as you know about it. Let me give you a scenario. Recently, I paid a friend a visit to his farm.
Yeah.
So we're trying to clean up and organize the farm. We're removing woods and all that from the farmhouse where he was going to keep his animal feeds from. Yeah. Chicken feeds. Yeah. Then we saw a snake. So when we saw a snake, I already knew the snake type. It was a brown house snake.
Yeah.
But for purposes of clarity and context, I had to call for my guidebook. I had it with me. So it was brought to me. I showed them, you see, that snake that you see there, it's here. So I told them, I'm going to remove the snake and I'm going to take it out. It's harmless. So I picked the snake with my hand. It bit me 3 times. I went and dropped it there. I'm here alive.
So, that's like a movie, man. It bit you 3 times and nothing happened.
Because it was nervous. It's part of self-defense. So I had to pick it up, take it away. You get it? And even a number of eco farms, a number of persons that say we have an eco farm or we're promoting agrotourism. It can't be an eco when you're killing the snakes.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell a number of farms that I visited.
Yeah.
You can't claim your farm is eco-friendly when we're killing snakes. You get it? Because first of all, those snakes have lived there for generations before you also thought of buying that land. You get it? That's number one. Number two is that your farm provides a great environment for them to feed on.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of rodents inside, a lot of birds. Now, if you have rodents, vermin cause a lot of diseases, spread a lot of diseases. Yeah? Vermin are carriers of vectors. You get it? So the only way to control them, because you can't poison everything, and poisoning is not healthy in a farm establishment, because you poison one, your chicken will come and eat it. Yeah. And then it dies. So why not let the snake do its work?
What is the advantage or the importance of snakes?
No, well, there are a lot of importance of snakes.
Well,
no. One of the importance of snakes is it helps in the control of vermin population, like rodents, rodents, and geckos and all that. That's number one. And number two, study purposes, because we're studying about it and all that. And then number three, antivenoms from the snakes are highly costly. Antivenoms, and they're used to treat snake bites. Of course, a number of people use the hides of snakes for making drums, for making shoes, and all those crafty products. You get it? Then number five, the most important one, is also to helps into creating a balance in the ecosystem. That will go back to the first one. But in this context, that it helps to, if your environment is rodent free, you know that at least there's an animal that's putting in to check. So if you have lots of rhododendron spaces, you definitely know that they don't have snakes. Probably have few snakes around.
Wow.
You get it? So they have multiple. Now, in the spiritual context, snake represents awakening.
Yeah.
Because when they shed off that skin, it means rebirth. You get it? It means rebirth.
Yeah.
Then when you look at the Kundalini aspect, is that it creates an impression whereby one is thought to self-heal. If you're sick, your body is able to self-heal even before you go for medication. That's another element.
All right. I'm imagining you. For how long were you in Watamu?
I was there for like 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
Did you get some time to move around Watamu?
I did.
What did you learn about Watamu? What was interesting about it?
Well, I went to because before I went to Watamu, I did a slight bit of research on the other places to visit that I can afford within my budget to go. So after the training that I had the following day, we had to move around. I went to the Ocean Conservation Center where they conserve the green turtles. The green turtles. So I went and saw it, and of course I saw the work that they were doing, and I gave them a good review anyway, because since I'm passionate about conservation, so I had to go back and check it out, pay them a visit, and made a recommendation, a small video about it.
So for people who are not into snakes, what would they go to Watamu to?
There's a lot of beach life.
Yeah.
People, if you want to go and have a number of fun, you can go to the beach. That is one. If you want to go and see the Turtle Conservation Center, I think it's called Oceania something. Yeah, Turtle Rescue Center. You can go there and also see the turtles.
Yeah.
Then I think basically it's beach and the turtle. That's more active there. Then maybe the dishes, the local dishes, the cuisines. Because when I went there, I had to ask them, man, what is a local dish here? They told me biryani. I was like, okay. I thought something different from biryani. Biryani sounds more Asiatic. That's what I had.
Yeah, Swahili people and biryani are like... Yeah.
So I had to have it.
Biryani, pilau.
But I had it with what? With bean soup. Yeah, I wanted beans and coconut soup. Yeah, so I had to do it.
and that was, I'm sure, very tasty.
Yeah, it was tasty. It was tasty.
Would you say that is the best meal you've had on your travel?
Not generally, because, as a person who's fascinated by food as well, because I love to cook.
Yeah.
Taste is a big element in food. Taste, color, taste, color, and smell. It's a big element of food. I've tasted a number of foods, and I can't rule out that this is the best food I've had because I don't have a best food. But
no. All right, I want to see mental health is a big thing. Yeah, and I've hosted a number of people, talked to a number of people who would say how travel helps them. Keep their mental health in check. They use it as a thing to keep them like alive and feel good. How has your travel impacted you normally when you go out of the country, or you are even within the country but you left your comfort zone where you normally are, you've gone somewhere just to relax or learn? How has that impacted you normally mentally?
Well, first of all, every destination gives a different impression. Because literally I've been to a number of places around Uganda, from going to Lake Mutanda side in Kisoro, up to the Kainela farms this side, then Queen Elizabeth National Park and all that, and Kasese, till maybe going to farms around. All gives a different experience. Now, we live in a world, currently we live in a world where there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of pollution in Kampala, noise pollution, air pollution, just mention it. So it's making a lot of people sick. So going out of these spaces, actually it's one of the reasons why people are depressed. The noise, you have air pollution and noise pollution around, makes you sick. So most of the times when I move out of the spaces, I find myself, first of all, I of course reconnect with nature. That's one. And nature is healing. Forest, if you decode the word forest, literally breaks down to forest. So that means you go to rest in the forest, So you connect back with nature. Connecting back with nature, that means you're healing. Get it? So oftentimes when I move out of Kampala, I find myself having a good state of mind.
gives you that feel good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vibe.
Give me full, and I think I even gain weight when I'm out of Kampala.
Ah.
Yeah, I gain a lot of weight. But here, you're thinking about when your rent is due. Maybe I think about, but when you go the other side, you forget about your worries most of the times because you're thinking about your rent. You want to process this document, it's still not working out. You don't have the money.
Yeah.
You have clients, customers who are supposed to come back to you. But when you're out of that space, you live within the moment. That's how I learned in my travels. I always have to, I leave everything behind, move with what is present at hand. Yeah.
All right. I know for real, for sure, for me, I know that traveling gives you different perspectives as a person. You learn about people, you learn about environments, you learn about things that you maybe were not so exposed to you. What is something that you've learned about yourself every time you travel?
Learned about myself every time I travel? Well, it's interesting. One of those, first of all, is that I love the different cultures that are around.
Yeah.
The uniqueness in them, how they relate with each other, how they compose the music, dance, and all that, and how they tell their stories, their histories, and the mysteries around their existence. Me fascinates me, and that's why I'm always willing to learn. Again, different cultures for example, around the world, or Uganda to be specific, is that they have different unique attributes that make them totally different. When you go to Karamoja, for example, like last year I had the greatest travel in the country. Last year alone. So if you go to Karamoja, let's say go to Pianupe, you find the Pians have their own different perception about the whistling acacia, which is an endangered tree. You get it? They use it for fencing around their homestead because it has thorns. But then they don't know that it actually impacts the birds. The fox's weaver, it's their home. It's the only home. It's the only tree that they nest on. So if you go there and find them cutting the trees, you'll be like, if these birds disappear, that means you'll not get money coming through. You get it? But then you get to know what they think about it anyway. You get it? Because different cultures, different people have different perception about the different things around the environment. Like for example, the shea nut trees. Most communities in northern Uganda know the value of the shea nuts or the shea butter itself. But it's also on the tree that's being cut down for charcoal. Then you reason out with them. Be like, okay, what's happening? Why are you cutting down the trees? Yeah, like, oh, we're cutting them because we don't have money to survive. Then you benchmark on how can we uplift the communities with the resources that they have. You get it? So it gives an idea to build. And then on the other aspect is that I love, like I told you in the beginning, that I love architecture. How people structure the buildings and all that with the resources that they have within the environment plays a bigger part in my wellness. So I look around it and say, okay, why are people building particular kind of houses? Get it? If you remember in the past, people used to say people in the north, they're poor and they live in grass thatch houses. Yet people didn't consider that the north, because of its climatic condition, building houses with grass thatch was the most ideal idea for them. You cannot iron sheets because of the heat. So it gives you all that different perspective.
You actually talked about being in Karamoja. Have you experienced sleeping in a manyatta?
No, I didn't experience sleeping in a manyatta because the time we had there was a very short time. The times I've gone there, the first time I went there was we had to camp in the park. We had to set our tents, slept in the park. Then the other time I went in, we were on a documentary project, so we're actually sleeping in Mbale. So just go do a project and come back.
I was in Karamoja 2 weeks ago. Actually, last weekend, last weekend I was in Karamoja. I drove over 750 kilometers from Busia to Moroto and back.
That was long.
And I got lost somewhere in Nakapiripiri, but it was it was a good trip for me. I liked it. Like you say, it refreshes the mind and all. Now, you've studied snakes in a unique setting. How does travel help someone in your field to stay grounded and focused? How do you keep your mental clarity? Because trust me, I can imagine the anxiety it comes with to living in an environment where you are around snakes. It's dangerous. In your mind, you know it is. You're like, how do you maintain that mental clarity that, you know what, all is good, I can do this, and then, refresh my mind?
First of all, it's last year when I traveled with a team of conservationists. There's a conservation organization that had gone, a budding conservationist called Avian Conservation Uganda Society.
Yeah.
We went with them to Pianupe, on a budding Pianupe Wildlife Reserve, on a budding expedition. So when we went there was this one gentleman whom I picked interest with. I was following him on social media for a long time because of his content in photography and all that.
Yeah.
He was specialized mostly in wildlife photography. So when I was with him, I saw how he was keen to details.
Yeah.
Meaning that when he moves out, he's walking on the trail, he pays attention to what's on the ground.
Yeah.
If he sees a mark on the ground, he's curious to know which animal is this. So he's able to identify that the claw on the ground is for a genet, or it's for a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's for a lion or for a leopard.
Yeah.
You get it? And then that gave me a different whole perspective. You see, I'll give you an example again. Birding itself. If you're a birder, you need to be one of the most calmest person and patient. And you don't need noise. Birding doesn't need noise. If you spot that there's a bird somewhere, you need to be very calm and wait. Or you know the bird nests somewhere, you need to sit and wait. For example, when we were looking for the fox's weaver, we had to go there in the evening because that's the time we knew that they would be coming back to their nest. And at that point when we go there, we actually were lucky to see. That was the first time I saw a leopard in the wild crossing over on the roadside. So that was the patience. So if you're so very impatient, you'll miss a lot of things in nature. You'll miss to see a lot of things. You get it?
Yeah.
So patience, mental clarity. Talk about mental clarity. You need to be very patient, and that goes to personality. You need to be very patient. Yeah. You need to be alert. Alertness meaning that when you hear something moving, you don't have to be quick to run.
Yeah.
Away. You need to be alert, see, observe.
What is it?
What is it? That's how you're able to see probably the snake that you want to see.
Yeah.
Or be able to see the bird you want to see. Or be able to see the things you need to see. Nature might surprise you. I've been surprised in the most unique ways that I've seen. I've seen even foxes in the wild, like on eye contact.
Yeah.
Because of that. Get it? So you have to be alert. You have to be patient. Patience, alertness. Then you should also be willing to learn.
Yeah.
Because we don't know it all. You know, the universe can surprise us in one way or the other. You get shocked that the things that you know were actually full of lies, and the reality is just there in front of you.
Yeah.
You get it? So, because me, I love seeing sights. Like when you ask me about mountains, choosing between hiking a mountain
and diving, yes.
Yes. They always say that gods dwell in the mountains, so don't dwell in the ocean. So I want to climb up. You get it? So you have, even the mere sight of a mountain alone gives me fulfillment on how the creator, how they came into existence. Who created? It gives you those questions. That create them. You see the glory, or the magnificence of the creator.
But for someone who loves nature like you, if they wanted to come to Uganda and they wanted to explore, which are the places you could recommend? And like, if you come to Uganda, or even if you're a Ugandan within Uganda, these are places you should die for if you want to experience nature at its best.
Well, for all the places I've been to and where I've not been to.
Okay, yeah.
By recommendation.
Yeah.
I'll recommend, first of all, Idepo Valley National Park.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the wild feel.
Yeah.
It's a park that has been highly recommended in that regards.
Yeah.
Now, when you move southwards, when you meet a little bit northwestern, that is West Nile side.
Yeah.
There are a lot of activities going on. There's Miredua Falls in West Nile, Arua, actually around Maracha side. Then you go to Mount K, where the white rhinos used to dwell before they were hunted into extinction. Cave. But you could also be able to see the pangolins that side. Then if you go to Midigo side in Yumbe, still, you'll be able to see the rock hyrax around Midigo Hill. I saw it first, eye to eye. Then if you move southwards a little bit, because of Maishan Falls, of course, it's a go-to number one for everyone as well. But then when you go southwestern, I've been to Lake Mutanda side. You know, Lake Mutanda is deeper than Lake Bunyonyi. But people mention mostly Lake Bunyonyi.
Because what they know.
That's what they know. But a lot of people haven't. If you do a research on it, you'll find that Lake Mutanda is more deeper than Lake Bunyonyi. And it's a volcanic lake. There's no life form on that lake. It has the same story. You hear about the Punishment Island on Lake Bunyonyi. Same thing happened on Lake Mutanda. Because I even went there, I saw the skulls, the remnants of the girls who were taken there.
Where is Lake Mutanda from?
It's in Kisoro.
Kisoro.
Yeah, it's Kisoro. So I went there and I saw it eye to eye.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Then of course for mountaineers, for guys who want to do gorilla tracking, you go to Bwindi, Impenetrable Forest, you see it. You want to do chimpanzee tracking, I've been to Chibali, but I didn't track, just went on a small walk. So you can see the chimpanzees there. There are a lot of the cultures. If you want to visit farms, I've been to Kainela Farm in Kayunga. They actually have a mini zoo there. They have the llamas. You know the llamas?
No.
Llamas. They look like goats, but they're from South America. They have the llamas. They have the emu. Emu is the closest relative to the ostrich. Yeah, it's a flightless bird, but I think it runs for around 258 kilometers per hour, something like that. It's a flightless bird. So the llamas, by the way, they're also like guard animal. They protect the sheep and other flocks from other predators because they're very alert. You get it? So they currently even have the ostriches, a diversity of birds there. Apart from the cultural establishment, because apart from the whole establishment, they also have a lot of foods, local foods that you can try out. Yeah, they have horse rides, quad biking. And it's an experience that you'll never miss. So if you want to do a coffee tour, probably I would recommend Sarah Wild Coffee. They have the plants in Kapchora. You learn about coffee, organic coffee, how to raise organic coffee. You can go to Sarah Wild Coffee in Kapchora. You get it? Then I've seen people pushing in Mulinza Farm, then Iwafe Cultural Center as well. But I haven't been to Iwafe. I haven't been to Mulinza Farm as well. But I've been to these other parts.
All right. I see you with a bag of shea nut and natural oils. Shortly, tell us about shea nuts and natural oil. What is it? What's good about shea nuts? Like how do we use it, and who benefits from this? If and how can they get it if they wanted it?
Okay. Now, Shea Nuts and Natural Oils Conservation Limited is first of all an indigenous company that was established around 2022 to actually 2020 before COVID. When COVID came in, they had to close down. They resumed in 2022 to add value to shea nuts and natural oils. The reason being because why they focus on the shea nuts is because of the continued degradation. People were cutting the shea nut trees because of its high value charcoal in West Nile. So our directors sat down and thought, how can we make people see the economic sense of a standing shea nut trees which grows for 300 years being cut down just in one take for just one charcoal. That's when they came out with they sat down and established the company. Now, of course, the company currently works with around 3,000 women collector groups and then over 1,800 youth. So their intervention is a fair trade business because all the persons involved, the women groups and the youth, all participate directly into the value chain. Because you have the shea nut collector, you have those who sort and grade, you have the processors, you have the one who packages and the one who sell, marketing. So the Nilotica shea nut trees basically grows in northern Uganda. For purposes of context, northern Uganda and south of southern Sudan. So our business, the business works with farmers from Yumbe district, Moyo, southern Sudan. So they stretch southern Sudan as well, from Moyo, Yumbe, up to southern Sudan. Where there's a large concentration of the shea nut trees currently. Okay, so you asked me about the benefits of shea nuts or shea butter.
What products do you make first?
Now, we currently only make cold pressed Nilotica shea butter. Cold pressed, raw and refined, 100% organic. No chemicals added, no preservative added. Now, shea butter has multiple benefits and it's highly sought for, by the way. Just because the region where the shea nut trees in the past had experienced a lot of instability, meaning that the LRA wars you heard of were happening in those areas. So access to the shea nuts were hard. That's why today, Ghana becomes the largest exporter of shea butter in the world. Nigeria is the largest producer of shea butter, the West African shea butter. But in terms of export, Ghana stands out. Why? Because they capitalize onto it And then so recent that Uganda is now taking lead to the production of shea butter. Yes. So basically, see Ghana, Nigeria, and Uganda now rising up into the tree. Like I said, we basically produce cold pressed analytical shea butter, which has multiple benefits. Now, benefit number one is that shea butter is a natural moisturizer. Shea butter is a natural sunscreen. If you're so exposed to the sun, smell shea butter, you can even see my skin. Number three, shea butter has a healing property. If you get wounds, if cuts, burn, it's a fast healer because it repairs your cell.
Yeah.
Then number four, it has an anti-aging property. You look younger than your age.
Yeah, like you do.
Yes. So that I usually tell guys I'm plus 30s and they get shocked, like, you look like a 25-year-old, 23. Like, oh, tell them, no, I look younger than my problems. You get it because of shea butter. Number five is a shea butter. Cold pressed shea butter or shea butter generally is cholesterol free. You can use the same oil for cooking. There are only three oils that are cholesterol free: the coconut oil, olive oil, and shea butter oil. The cholesterol free. You don't hear complications around heart-related diseases or pressure or anything. Now, if you have kids that suffer from rashes, diaper rash, for example, use shea butter. Now, if your wife at home complains of stretch marks and oval, shea butter clears. It can also help in treating ankle pain, joint pain, and all that. And then if your hair breaks, it helps to strengthen the elasticity of your hair. So it strengthens the elasticity of your hair and treats dandruff or any other hair-related complications. So generally, anyone can use. It's a unisex product that everyone can use. Now, because it's raw, you can actually use the same product with other products. You can mix it in your oils. Okay, you can use the same oil with other products. You can mix it either coconut oil or other oils in case you don't like, because a lot of people don't like the natural smell of shea butter.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to get to that I've had it before.
You can smell it.
And the way it smells is I don't like it. I wouldn't use it because
you can perfume it. But then the smell can easily disappear in less than 2 minutes. Actually, if you smell it by 5 minutes, I guarantee you won't be having that smell.
Do you have perfumed shea butter?
No, we don't have. We only sell raw and refined. But in the near future, we're looking forward to extending our products into making shampoos, shea gel, shea lotions, soap, shea soaps as well. But right now, we're just focusing on those products. Get it? But eventually also getting other natural oils. But because the shea nut trees, the shea nut trees are under endangerment, we have two interventions going in place. Intervention number one is that we organize what we call the annual shea nut tournament. Yeah. Now the tournament is aimed at doing three things. One is raising awareness of the shea nut trees. Yeah. Two, it also it's also an avenue for talent search. Yeah. Because a lot of football clubs that come around and spot talent for that club. So that's number two. Then three, it also helps in streamlining the conservation effort that we're pushing forward to get it. Then we also have a nursery bed that we've established. Yeah. We currently have 45,000 tree seedlings that are in our nursery bed. Yeah. Get it? We started our company. We started raising them since last year. Last year we started with 10,000. This year we have around 35,000 that we're adding to the number. So we have 45,000 tree seedlings. The reason why we're doing it is for regeneration of the shea nuts. Yeah, because of the continued degradation that's arising. Get it? Because the shea nut trees grew wild. No one planted them. Yeah. And like I said, it takes them 300 years. When you plant the tree, it starts fruiting or producing at 18 to 20 years. Then its lifespan is up to 300 years recorded. Wait,
so this means that if I planted a shea nut tree today, I would start yielding when they are 18 years.
18 to 20 years.
And that's some investment.
Yes,
it takes a little patience.
Now, is a nature great? You get it? If nature gives you this free of charge, why would you contribute into its loss? You get it? So that's why we're trying to push innovation into the regeneration process to have it get back in the wild. We're distributing it back to the shea community so that they can plant it back. You know, apart from northern Uganda, specks of it is found around Nakasongola. Yes, that's as far as go. Specks of it. I've seen the shea nut trees in Abim. I've seen them in Amoro, Noya, go to Yumbe, Madio Kolo, Moyo, Ajumani, come to Otuke, Liras, and the Lao sub-region, you find them there. You get it? Yeah.
Thank you so much. So how do people get to you if they want these products?
Now, Nuts and Adventurous Conservation Limited is online. We have all social media. We're everywhere. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're also on YouTube, we're on TikTok as well.
Using the same name.
Using the same name.
Say the name again.
Nut and Natural Oils Conservation Limited. Yes. Then of course we have also our numbers that someone can reach out.
Yeah.
Personal number at 0702 020 547 or else 0779 706275.
All right. You've heard it, my dear listeners. I'm hoping that you have picked interest like I have in Shea Nut and Natural Oils Conservation Limited. The numbers will be in the description of this podcast. Please check them out and feel healthy. Use the oils and feel healthy. It makes sense for you. It should help. It should be able to help. Your parting shots, my friend.
Well, I would love to say that everyone needs to travel.
Yeah.
Traveling opens your eyes and your mind and soul into the beauties of creation, first of all. And also gives a perspective of how life should move and how people are moving on with life in a different perspective, in different ways.
Yeah.
You get it? So you need to move around leave your comfort zone and move around the world.
Yeah.
It's cheaper or affordable to travel in your own way. You can actually even move from your home to the next location or next greenery place and get to see something, Then the other thing I'll tell you is that don't be afraid of snakes. Yeah. Get to learn about them, pick interest into knowing them, because definitely you will always encounter them. So how best can you avoid any confrontations or meeting up with them? So you need to learn about them, pick interest in them. And lately there are always interest around snakes. So there are a lot of people who are keen into learning about snakes and around snakes. So and please, my last parting shot is that always tune into Abbas's podcast. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, because there are a lot of amazing things, amazing conversations that are ongoing. So if you miss it out, you always get back to it.
All right. Thank you so much. What a fascinating journey we've had with Ismail. In this episode, I am excited because of the things I have learned today. I do not know yet if I have the courage to go and have a conversation with snakes yet, but we'll see about it. From, of course, the beautiful land of Watamu to Dubai to Mombasa with Ismail. I'm sure that we have had a thing or two that we have learned from this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much, Ismail, for accepting to be hosted on the In My Voice podcast in this episode of Okutambula Kulaba. Okutambula Kulaba is a Uganda word that means that when you travel, you see a lot of things. So when you come back, you tell the stories of what you've seen. I am happy to have you on the show once again, and looking forward to more episodes with you in the future. Whenever you travel, please feel free to drop a call and tell me, you know what, I have some new experiences I would like to share. Also, finally, do you have anyone you would want to recommend who you think has traveled and should be on the show?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Who would that be?
I think there are a number of people.
Give me one person you're like, I want to hear about that guy's travel stories.
Could be Alpha Chiaga from Bridge Films.
Alpha Chiaga.
Yes, from Bridge Films.
All right.
He's been in Israel as well.
Alpha Chiaga, we are coming.
Yeah.
We are coming for you. All right. Thank you so much, Ismail.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine.